Welcome back, Overwatch fans. That's right, now it's time for the main event. Shanghai Dragons versus New York Excelsior. It's another playoff match here on our Stage 3 playoff week. And I've been really looking forward to this one because honestly, this is a match that I think Shanghai could absolutely win.
Yeah, I think if you look at our last playoff match, you might think maybe this will be a little bit one-sided. It is the first team versus the first seed versus the 8th seed here in our stage playoffs. But I think Shanghai does stand a very good chance of winning this series.
Yeah, you got to talk about the trajectory. And right now, we just saw the Titans absolutely dismantle the Houston Outlaws 3-0. It was not close. We'll see if the Dragons can make it a bit tighter against New York. Now, New York is obviously a team that's had a pretty awesome regular season. They've only lost 2 matches. Those are both to Atlanta Reign, weirdly enough. You can see their Stage 3 schedule right there. And it's all wins.
Yeah, it is all wins.
Except for that 4-0 loss, apparently. Loss win against the Spitfire.
That was a win.
It's a 7-0 victory again, just like Stage 1.
Yeah, just like Stage 1. As you say, both those losses to the Atlanta Reign came in Stage 2.
And they're all visible.
That's right. Everybody's Sombra without decloaking right now on the stage.
How deadly. NYXL.
6 Sombras.
That's right. 6 Sombras. That meta is long gone. Sombra wasn't even in the game when you could do that.
That's right.
Don't worry about it. Let's talk about our Shanghai DPS players. These guys have been insane. Diem and Ding have been a combo that we've kind of been excited about for a long time, but they've recently kind of really started popping off.
Yeah, and we did hear on the Watchpoint pre-show that they are definitely in contention for the top 2 DPS, the top DPS duo, I should say, in the league. Yeah. And a lot of that has come because of DM being on the Widowmaker. He is currently leading the league in kills per 10 minutes, final blows for 10 minutes rather, on that Widowmaker statistic. And, you know, we look at Ding and how awesome his Pharah has been. It has been really a breakout stage for the Shanghai Dragons. Stage 2 was mostly Sombra 3-2-1. This time they're all over the map with many new kinds of composition.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They're one of the teams to really kind of make the Sombra thing work, and then they've kind of added on to that. So, without any further talk, let's welcome the teams to the arena. Give it up first for the Shanghai Dragons. And Coma leading the way as the Dragons take the stage to try to get a bit farther in the playoffs this time around. And, you know, despite the fact that New York's looked very strong, like we said, these guys have a really solid opportunity here.
Yeah, they do, and especially what we saw in that game against Philadelphia on our Atlanta homestand, it was Youngjin really breaking out with the Roadhog play, playing these pick compositions. That's going to be definitely in New York's mind coming into this series.
That's right, so now a team that crushes in the regular season, but struggles a bit this year in the playoffs. Let's see if they can turn it around today. Let's hear it for the New York Excelsior. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this is a team that went to every single stage playoffs last season.
Stage
finals rather, last season, and they won 2 of them. So their performance in the playoffs, in the stage playoffs this year, has been a little bit puzzling.
Yeah, it has been, and they haven't even made the finals this year yet. They were knocked out in the quarters by Seoul in Stage 1, and in the semis by the Vancouver Titans in Stage 2. So they're still looking to claw their way back up to their former glory, and it would be, I think, a disappointment. But that said, New York Excel, they have had the weakest strength of schedule of any team in Stage 3. And even then, we were seeing them get taken to Map 5 by the Fuel, the Outlaws, and the Spitfire. So they have had struggles in their own way.
Right. Well, one of the big matchups to watch today is going to be the DPS matchup of Diem versus Nene. Now, Nene has been kind of taking on that Widowmaker mantle, but like, I don't think anybody in the league can touch Diem right now. You saw Carpe try it. It was Carpe Diem. Now it's Diem Carpe. We had that established for us in Atlanta. What do you think we're going to see between these 2 guys today, though?
Well, I don't know if they're going to opt into this duel. New York might just go back and play the Sombra 3-2-1.
If I was Nene, I definitely would not opt into that duel. I don't know.
Because, you know, frankly, the NYXL have the best Sombra win rate, teamfight win rate in the league. It's 64.2%. So they're having a lot of success just with the Sombra right now. Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Fair enough. Well, let's take a look at our map set brought to you by Toyota. It's a 1st to 3 today, starting off with Oasis. We'll go to Hybrid after that. Of course, it will be loser pick after we get through the first map. So we don't know what it's going to be. Couldn't tell you if I wanted to. I have no idea. We're going to find out after this map right here. starting off on control on Oasis. Shanghai Dragons versus New York Excelsior kicking it off in the Garden. And we'll see what these teams have in mind. I'm excited about watching Youngjin again, man. He was so entertaining in Atlanta, like you mentioned earlier with that Roadhog, and just become a great player. The Doomfist has certainly been part of that too.
I'm really surprised that we're going to see Oasis first here. Nepal.
They're going for it.
Yeah, is the map that NYXL has been undefeated on this stage, but they're definitely going to go for it. Youngjin on the signature Doomfist pickup. And it looks like they will be coming in here. That is going to be
you're not providing
elimination.
that.
Ding with the kill right away.
Yeah, Ding Dong. Who is it? It's Ding, and he's going to kill you.
You're going off the map.
Exactly,
Straight to the drink.
That didn't rhyme like I anticipated, but that's all right. You can't rhyme all the time. Oh no! What have I done?
You've ruined it again.
That's right.
We are going to see, and they come back now on a Sombra. Now they know they can play this composition because it's multi-DPS on the other side, so they want to try it out with just the Sombra here and focusing down targets in the backline. Then they're going to get sleep darted immediately, though.
Luffy down, though, so New York Excelsior getting that 6v5. Ding trying to equalize. If he can demech Meko, that would be pretty solid. Luffy does get res. Oh, Nene right into the barrage. Not much he can do there. Meanwhile, the nano boost onto Mono. The Mono boost comes in and he picks up 2 kills already. Going for another one on the Luffy. But the sleep dart nails it, and the meteor strike right on top of the monkey. Kamsu finishes him off, and the Shanghai Dragons managed to maintain for the moment, but it might be about to flip.
Well, look at this. DM's going to be coming in with this EMP right now. Nene has hardly any EMP charge. So the point still hasn't flipped yet, and they're going to have another attack here.
Yeah, they got a chance. 35% for the Dragons already. Nano boost used. Team just hiding out in the minefield. Meanwhile, Ding looking for a few more kills. He does get hacked, but he's still doing that damage. That nano boost pumping out the rocket. DPS even more now, and Mono on the run. Taking a few rockets on the way out, and he's not going to survive. Youngjin finishes him with a rocket punch, and now over halfway there for Shanghai to take the first round on Oasis. See if they can keep it up.
I mean, this has been incredible because DM got to keep his EMP through the madness thanks to the nano boost, and Ding really just hard carrying this point right now for the Shanghai Dragons.
Well, yeah, I mean, you give him the nano boost, and even though he was hacked, he was able to stay safe and find the kills. Enough of New York had dropped already that he could be a bit more aggressive, but Nene's EMP is coming up, but it doesn't matter. Big 5-man EMP coming in now from the Shanghai side. Can they get the kills at the barrage? You know Ding can. Picks up 2. And he lives through it. They nearly killed Mono as well. Now they're trying to chase him down. Should be, Bubble comes up just in time to save his life, but now it's 90%. If New York does not win this next fight, and they've got the ults to do it, this round is over.
I mean, they finally have EMP for Nene. It's taken so long to generate it. We don't typically think of him as a Sombra player. He's trying it out here, and it has been hard going for him.
Yeah, it's been a bit rough. Here we go. Jonak down early. Youngjin with the big pick on the Doomfist. Now the anti-heal onto Animo and the tank, but the sound barrier sustained for a little bit. They got the kill on Ding. Maybe Nene with the hack on a Kamsu here can do a little bit more. New York trying to turn it around. The res comes in onto Ding, and there's the sleep dart. Animo down. Ding immediately starting to take names. And
the nano
with that
boost.
meteor strike.
The nano boost on the Ding again.
Yeah, but he's got to get the kills though. DM, he says, hey man, don't worry about it. You do the damage. I'll get the killing blows. I want the stats right now. Youngjin used the meteor strike to reposition. Nice right click on the Nene. Hack that. And the Dragons seem to have found the fight they have. That's 100-0 to start things off.
Youngjin's rocket punch knocked Mono off the point to complete the round there.
It's huge.
So Shanghai Dragons, with an exceptional performance from Ding's Pharah, are able to close out the first point.
Wow. I mean, and that's kind of what we were wondering if we were going to see coming into that. And to be fair, it's only one round on one map, but that seemed pretty decisive from the Shanghai Dragons. I mean, they kind of ran circles around NYXL.
Yeah, that was quite convincing. I think NYXL, that looked very uncomfortable for them with Nene on the Sombra this time around, though. You know, they made this starting roster without Sebilby in the lineup, and that limits what they can do, especially with Shanghai coming out with a lot of these DPS looks. I think Shanghai's thinking, all right, well, Sebilby's not here, which means if you want to play the Winston 3-2-1, which is good against low HP targets because of how fast you can flank them, then you're going to have to do it with Nene on the Sombra. They're going to do it again.
I mean, they're just going to chase New York right back to spawn, and in this Overwatch world that we live in right now. Nice sleep dart onto DM.
Jonak.
You need to be able to play a bit more than 3-3, and Jonak sets up a great one right there. New York Excelsior, point unlocking. They've got this 6v5. Trying to take it right now. Nene looping around the outside, but Mono's down. Youngjin with another big pick on the Doomfist. I can't believe what this guy can do. His Doomfist is so sick.
Youngjin has been just unleashed at the Atlanta homestand, and he's coming in here and putting on another huge performance. Look at these positioning he's got. So far in this Doomfist is sublime.
Before now, we had seen his Doomfist in the past, in other tournaments. He was known as a very good Doomfist player before this year, and he's finally getting to show it, and it's great, man. What an asset to have.
Oh yeah, I mean, Youngjin has had some very good Doomfist games in Overwatch League, but as a niche pick, this time he's just gonna run it all the time here on Oasis and NYXL.
Yeah.
They don't look like they know how to deal with it.
Not yet. And a well-played Doomfist is so hard to deal with. It seems like you can never kill him. He has such a great escape mechanic with Meteor Strike if he doesn't end up using it for damage. Look at another one! Another Rocket Punch! Lays Libero low, and New York Excelsior really struggling here. There goes Jonak. Meteor Strike coming in. Nearly gets a D-Mech onto Meko, gets the punch into the wall. Extra damage from connecting with the terrain as well, and yeah. Just leave him. Just play with your foot a little bit, man. Nice stagger, and Shanghai Dragons again, halfway there.
This is just so brutal to watch. They're going to have a Nano Boost NYXL and an EMP coming into this next fight, but look at the Dragons.
Yeah.
It's going to be Nano Boost and a Rocket Barrage one more time for Ding. He and Luffy have been synergizing so well with their abilities.
I mean, Nano Boost, EMP, you name it. Shanghai is everything right now. Nice anti on the Libero. DM does go down, though. Mano finds the kill, but the res comes in. They manage to cover Coma long enough to get the job done. There's the EMP on a lot of members of Shanghai, but it doesn't matter. Ding able to use a barrage anyway, and he sleep vaults himself into the point. Can't escape the self-destruct, though, and Meko picks up one. Now Mono with that primal rage, trying to turn it around, but Youngjin doing work again on this Doomfist. Gets one more kill. Now he's got to contend with the man himself. Looks like New York finally in position to maybe get this one flipped.
I don't know if they are, though. Finally looks like Gapsu comes back. He still has that minefield. He's under the point right now, will not contest. Heads back to his teammate. But that was everything from NYXL. They have a sound barrier. But look at the Shanghai Dragons. They're just gonna nano boosting.
Yeah.
It seems really desperate right now. DM also nearly at an EMP of his own. They're in one fight territory. This is Shanghai's map to lose.
Yeah, they've got all the tools right now that they need. Another Rocket Punch comes in. Ooh, danger. Sound barrier used.
Wait it out.
Gather everybody up. And from on high, gets the damage done. There's the EMP now for DM, and Ding follows up with 2 kills already. That nano boost, enabling that damage. It's another one. They make it look easy. They make it look so simple right now.
That's it, Doa. The Shanghai Dragons are gonna do it here.
They got it, man. That's a 2-0 on Oasis, as long as they can do it. Nene, and man, get crowd controlled to death. Another Meko emerges from the underworld below, but he's gonna be sent right back there by Youngjin. Overtime timer expiring, and they're trying to keep it going as long as they can, but it's only a matter of time. That is it. And Shanghai Dragons with the smooth 2-0 here on Oasis.
Convincing victory for the Shanghai Dragons. Very well played by them. Oasis goes their way, and NYXL will be picking our map here for the second match of the series.
Exciting start to this match. Don't go anywhere, guys. Map 2 coming up right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
My ultimate is
Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. The Toronto Defiant had just captured the point in a close match against the Atlanta Reign during their homestand, but the Reign came roaring back to immediately recapture. In the last fight, the Defiant's Yakpung tried to Earth Shatter, but was cancelled at the perfect time with Airster's Brigitte.
The Shatter comes in, gets canceled though. Yakpung not able to get it off in time, and he's gonna drop. Atlanta Reign charging back into this one. They lose their Reinhardt, but they've got enough here. The Shanghai Dragons lighting Oasis on fire, man. They breathed infernal flames all over NYXL. Well, with a fist of flames, rockets of flames, lots of flames.
I just don't know why NYXL did two things. One was pick Oasis. Now, they did win Oasis versus Shanghai Dragons when these teams met up in the regular season.
Right, because we should
on stage 2.
The higher seed does get to pick map 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, but the NYXL have been great on Nepal this stage. They're undefeated on Nepal. And I just think, like, if you look at coming in without Sebilbi and trying to run the Sombra, it just wasn't working. Nene was having a very slow ult charge. And you know what the Dragons are going to do. Now, we have seen NYXL, they are the losers. They are going to pick Hollywood. And Hollywood is a map that the Shanghai Dragons are terrible at. So it's not very surprising. So far, this stage, NYXL is 2-0 on Hollywood. This is the map that Shanghai Dragons lost to Philly when we were at the Atlanta homestand.
Yeah,
they are 0-5 overall. Seems like a pretty obvious choice if you're NYXL.
I think so. I mean, yeah, what map do you want to play on? How about a map you're 4-1 and your opponent's 0-5? That's a pretty easy choice there.
Yeah, especially because of the way they've been losing it. Like Shanghai C9 the point against Philly. It's kind of an embarrassing way to lose.
Thank you, Mr. Youngjin.
They are probably going to go with the kind of strategy that powered them to victory against Philadelphia, which is this Orisa Roadhog. But they're going to see Winston 3-3 coming in from the NYXL.
Yeah, it almost looks like New York says, you know what, we were really good at 3-3. It's brought us this far. We're just going to stick with it for the playoffs too.
I mean, it is the Winston 3-3 is a strong composition against multi-DPS, but Youngjin and Ding on that last map had 58% of their team's damage in total. Between the two of them, 29% each. So they are popping off today.
Mono already half health here. He gets the bubble down, but Ding's just going to walk right inside. There's the sleep dart as well. Youngjin and Luffy down, though, so New York will get an early defense going. That said, Jonak taken out. That's a hero that's going to take a long time to get back to the point. So if Shanghai can regroup quickly, they've got an opportunity here.
Yeah, I mean, they should just poke right now. Gamsu's not going to take enough damage to die, so he's going to be healing up and getting that Mercy. Koma, the ult charge. Youngjin looking for an angle here. Or the Rocket Fist are going to wait. They've got everybody. Shanghai's everyone back on the point now.
Meko out of the mech.
Jonak is back now.
Yep, but Meko is down, and there's a Dragon Strike through the cafe. Libro's super low. He's never going to survive that damage coming in from all sides. I can't believe he's still alive, actually. Not for long. There we go. Sleep Dart on the Ding, but the damage has been done without Nene. You're not going to have a lot of damage if you're New York Excelsior. Shanghai, though, having a little bit of trouble finishing this one off. They've got the Nano Boost on the Mano now. He's going to pop that Primal Rage. Luffy, the res happens. Mano tried to knock Koma out of the animation, but couldn't quite get it done in time. But now he's going to juggle the Ana. Can he keep Luffy alive? I don't know, man. Minefield coming in. Mano steps on it. Got to be careful. Takes a little bit of damage there.
Another Dragon Strike.
But yeah, the Dragon Strike again already. DM gets Mecha with it. Youngjin finds Jonak with the Meteor Strike. Nene with like no health remaining. And Shanghai might still be on track to take it anyway.
Yeah, there's only 2 members of New York, and it's 2 supports on the point right now. This should be it for the NYXL.
Should be.
Another resurrection. That's how long this fight has been going on.
Oh, that's it. The payload's moving. New York giving up point A and pretty quickly.
This is so weird from NYXL. I mean, they spent so much of this stage playing Sabiel B.
Right? Yeah.
And then to put
surprising.
Mecco back in right now in the playoffs, you just have to wonder a little bit.
Where did the confidence go in the Sombra play? I mean, they did go 7-0 this stage. It's not like they were, I mean, yeah, they were playing some teams pretty close, but it was working.
I wonder if that Dallas game scared them. Would they really have trouble playing the Diva?
Could be. Another Dragon Strike comes in from DM. That's third in like 2 minutes. It's crazy. Don't quote me on that. I haven't looked at the stats. It feels that way, though. There's a barrage coming in. DM
Nano boost.
finds another one. Yeah, the Nano Boost leads to the 3K. Make it a 4K if you include Mecco's mech, and I would. That is a clean sweep from the Dragons in that fight.
I mean, Ding, once again, is doing 32% of his team's damage right now. DM with 34%. The DPS hard carry in these first 2 maps has been ridiculous.
I love it, man. It's been way too long since we've had DPS hard carrying matches here in Overwatch. It's about time.
It's true. No Graviton now. Nene tried to use it, but it couldn't even take out DM.
Yeah. Rocket punch. Nobody's coming around that crate. It's a danger crate. Look out. Meteor strike opportunity here, too. Yeah, right click through there. Get back on the mount of this. And Animals! Ooh, don't jump on that. He's sleeping. Don't wake him up. Oh, all right. Unless you got the focus fire. Can you do it?
No. There was a target bubble there. I don't know about that one, but...
it was a little bit ambitious there. Dragon Strike comes through. Going to take off some of the sound barrier, but not a lot else. New York's still camping out on the payload for now.
They're waiting for Ding. Ding has died from the Shanghai Dragons, so Sleep Dart going to hit Luffy. Another nice one from Jonak.
Yeah, they keep
Gonna fall back a little bit right now, and they do get an anti-heal onto Luffy. Mono finishes it up. This will be NYXL taking a lot of time off the clock because they were waiting for Ding to get back, and then the rest of them die right as he does.
And this is kind of what happens. Every time we see Shanghai play this map, it feels like they're able to take point A, and then once they actually get the payload going, they start to really struggle through B, and if you don't set a good time in B, it's really difficult to finish this one.
Yeah, it definitely is. This has not been a great map for them overall. They are trying here. They had a respectable time there on A, but as you say, it's been struggle for the last 2.5 minutes on B.
That's the same story pretty much every time we see these guys on this map. So New York with a good chance to tie the series up here. If that happens, Shanghai would get to pick the next map, and you got to be worried about that if you're New York. Nano Boost onto Mono again. Sleep Dart immediately. How many times have they slept that guy right after he got Nano Boost? Luffy's on fire. There's a barrage. Gonna force a Primal Rage. He's gonna go high. He doesn't jump into Ding though, which is a little bit surprising. Normally you'd want to try to kill the Pharah there.
I have no idea. They should have known that the Primal Rage was up and that when they woke him up, that was going to be the end result. It's 2 really questionable wake-ups in a row on Mono now for the Shanghai Dragons. You get those nice sleep darts, just leave the sleeping monkey alone, go kill everybody else.
Let the sleeping scientist lie. That's what they say.
It's very, especially if you know he's got the Primal like that, the value you're getting is not much.
The ult tracking seems to be a little bit off maybe. And look at this, they're gonna go back to their DPS look. Young Jin back on the Doom Fist again. And down, wow, Jonak with a nice pick there. You know, you just hit a few shots in the row. You know, if you're a Mercy up in the air, sometimes you're a little bit vulnerable to a really good Ana. And we know Jonak is. That's a hero that he made himself, made a name on himself before coming into the Overwatch League. It's all down to DM's EMP though. See what he can do with this.
Yeah, the EMP is going to be so important. You can see Nene's hiding in the house.
What?
He got him.
Oh,
he got him.
I was like, who's in there? He got Youngjin. All right. For a second there, I was worried about that grab. Nene's had a couple before, but this one's okay. New York's got this fight. You scared me, Nene. Oh boy, but DM pushing that payload a little bit farther, but that might be all it goes.
Yeah, that was a smart grab because they knew the EMP was up, so a solo grab, taking out one person, turning a 6 versus 5, the best thing you can do.
Yeah, you definitely take that. Nobody, okay, DM gets back, touches the payload.
He was stunned out of the animation.
Yeah, but, you know, he touched the payload. That's the important thing. Kamsu got back there, but can they win a fight? Not with the sound barrier. And New York picking up kills left and right. It's going to be so tough. Youngjin needs a ton of picks to even start to turn this around, and he's not going to get a 1. And it looks like this is where the payload is probably going to stop, unless we see a miracle play come out of DM, and nope. That is it. Good defense for New York Excelsior. They are in prime position now to turn this one around.
Yeah, they should be feeling confident heading into their attack round. NYXL, they got so many good staggers, really good shot calling to drain the most time off the clock in B, and that sets them up in a good position to take Hollywood.
That's right. Quick break, and when we come back, New York goes on the attack.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
This is not your time. I'm taking the objective. Bird on me.
Helden sterben nicht. Огонь по готовности. We have a winner.
Justice rains from above.
New York has a chance to tie things up with a win on Hollywood, and they put themselves in a position with a pretty stellar point B defense to do just that.
Yeah, it looks rough there at first, but NYXL holds on in the end, and it really had some nice plays. Also, Shanghai is really staggering themselves a lot of the time, making some questionable decisions around the sleep darts that they were hitting.
I mean, after this, Shanghai could easily be 0-6 on Hollywood. And, some teams have a map where it's like, oh yeah, we're not very good on this map. But with Shanghai, you definitely have a definitive worst map for this team.
Yes.
It's absolutely Hollywood.
Yeah.
Check out that EMP cancel one more time.
Yeah, he was just touching cards. So Liberal, that's why he's standing here. He knows Summer's the only one who can get there. He was ready for it. I mean, it's cool.
You got to do it.
It's cool play.
You got to try for it.
Yeah, you got to try for it. It was definitely the right move to attempt the EMP right there, but Libero knew exactly what the thought process was going to be.
Yeah. Definitely not Diem's fault right there. Had to go for something. Had to go for the touch. Now New York on the attack, and Mecco will be playing the Sombra. Okay. Well, they're going to stick with it, though.
This is what makes sense about this roster, and honestly, this was kind of the question heading into this stage. Why use Sabiel? Because remember, NYXL was playing Mecco on Sombra at the start of this season before we saw a lot of Sombra plays with many teams.
Turns out it was just from scouting.
It was just a ruse.
A clever ruse.
It was a ruse in the end.
Just checking things out.
But I still have that question, by the way, though, because Mecca was a pretty darn good Sombra.
Yeah, I mean, he was certainly serviceable. And I mean, it seems like you really do need to have a good Sombra player on your team right now. And nice pick by Diem to start off the defense here. Getting rid of Lucio early certainly is helpful.
They split up a couple members of New York also. Can they get another pick? Ooh.
Youngjin's Roadhog was insane in Atlanta. If he can hit some of the hooks he did this last weekend, New York is in for a tough time. And Ding over the top, tries to fight the kill to Jonak. Oh, sleep dart, connects! Jonak hits another amazing one, but Mono goes down. And so New York still in a little bit of trouble here, trying to take. There's a hook on Nemeko there. Did they get the D-Mech? Not quite. I could watch Jonak 6 sleep darts all day, man. It is dangerous to be in the air around this guy.
The problem is there's not a lot of follow-up. They're going to try and nano boost Mecco, but okay, his boosters are down, and now he's going to come over this wall.
Luffy down. Mono just jumps through the blaze of rockets. It's okay as Ding is out of the way, and now New York going to get this payload going really quick.
Yeah, only a minute and a half took him to get this payload moving. Barrage is too far away to get enough rockets clustered up onto the supports. Nice healing as well from the NYXL.
Yeah.
New York gonna have a chance here. 4 minutes and 45 seconds to finish B. Plenty of time as they decorate the payload with NYXL sprays.
Hey, I wonder if the robot like VIP in their minds. He's like, he just said get him to the parking spot. He didn't say get the car to the parking spot without any
graffiti,
beautiful art on it. I was gonna say art, but if you want to call it. If you want to,
Well, it is the NYXL logo, so.
It is graffiti-esque, perhaps. I swear I've got a bath mat with that same thing. It's a cool look. It's grown on me, I'll say that. Nene has that grab. Youngjin with the whole hog, trying to push everybody back. Getting a little bit of space. He has that. Oh, nice hook on Meko with the supercharger. Plenty of damage to pop out of the mech there. DM picks one off onto Libero as well. New York's still in the payload, but good start to the defense from Dragons, but they need a lot more than this.
Oh, they're surrounded.
They are indeed. That's a
They're trying
Dragon
to use
strike
the grab.
opportunity. Oh, Mono jumps right into the arrow. Welcome to Shotgun Hanzo. Did you read the patch notes?
Oh man, Nene, who's had really questionable grabs all stage. You can't throw that out there. It's much better for you just to reset. To try and get greedy with it. Instead, you stagger very badly.
You know, that's why we had a legitimate reason to be worried about that grab in the last round. Like, Nene has those grabs from time to time. Nice shot by Dia. Dragon Strike coming through, funnels New York, Excelsior forward, right into Gamsu. Can they finish it? They've got the sound barrier on New York's side, and that's an Nano boost. We'll see, Meko's self-destruct. No kills out of that one, but it does push the payload a bit farther as the Shanghai Dragons need to give a bit of ground. Koma getting aggressive there actually with that Mercy ultimate. Got it deep on New York. Got to be careful there. Animo, ooh, he gets a Brigida shield though. Pack keeping him alive there. Nene in a lot of trouble. He's solo supercharger used. Oh, but he's going down anyway. Bold move from Gamsu. DM trying to keep up though with a kill into Jonak. Another Dragon Strike. Ting is getting
the
so
res.
fast.
It
Great
covered the res.
Yeah.
That-
Brilliant move.
Koma has been so good recently on this Mercy, and the rest of the Dragons play around his resurrections beautifully. They are amazingly good at covering the resurrection side so he can get him.
It is shocking what Koma gets away with res-wise.
I mean, there's no choice. Like you stand in the Dragon Strike, but they're creative. They have so many different ways of buying him just a little bit more room to get the resurrection off. Shanghai Dragons, though, coming back with no ultimates. They're up front at the choke right now. Diem way back, as you can see in the top right of your screen, on the high ground.
Well, here's where it gets kind of tricky, right? Because, like you mentioned, New York's going to have some ults. They've got the Primal Rage. They're probably going to have the grab. Diem really needs to find the pick for his team right now.
No one
They can have the infra site, so at least they know where New York is.
Yeah, it's very important, this double sniper composition.
Yep.
Diem gonna take out, that's huge.
Snipers trying to enable each other. Whoa, Diem! Big pick, and both supports out of the way. Those snipers doing work, man. Gamsu down, but there's no more healing for New York right now. They need to back away, and that could be a big stagger onto Meko as well. Libero does get the kill onto Ding, though, so New York, not out of it just yet, man. They're getting the kills, and Mono comes down from above with a punch to end Widowmaker. Goodbye, Youngjin. And so New York, man, it looked really good for Shanghai for the moment, but now New York pushing fast.
Yeah, they've got the Primal Rage used right now, going to fall away. So a little bit more time for Shanghai Dragons. They should be able to get another fight out of this one. No one on the payload pushing right now for NYXL. NYXL getting the remaining members of their team together. We've got at least one more fight here.
Oh, crap. All right. Just going to do that. Take out Youngjin to see if they can do that. Luffy uses a Nano Boost, tries to keep him alive. Jonak and Nene down. You know what? Nano Boost plus take a breather equals one hard-to-kill hog, and he is back with a vengeance. What a stop. Come on, Animo. You want to be close to the payload, don't you?
So Doa, right there, it was the Nano Boost to keep him alive in the Graviton Surge, and the Dragon Strike went through. It also managed the Dragon Strike to kill Jonak, but it was really just to cover them to make sure they couldn't follow up on the grab.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, NYXL, it could be losing the second map that they've selected in this series, and a map that Shanghai has not won this year.
What a time for Shanghai to get that first win, though. And wouldn't that be... That would be peak New York in the stage playoffs if that happened.
I mean, you hate to see it, but Infrasight out right now. DM's gonna see everything.
Whole hog anti-heal onto Youngjin. A little bit of trouble there. No, he's getting boosted by the supercharger. Gotta stay alive. Takes a breather to do just that. They gotta get on the payload though. And New York picking up the kills. And it just doesn't seem like it matters what happens when Shanghai plays Hollywood this year. They will always lose it. New York. They got the map. They tie up this series.
I mean, they do just barely do it, but it doesn't feel good for the NYXL, I imagine, to come that close to losing on what you know is your opponent's worst map.
Feels better than being one map away from losing the series, I'll tell you that much.
Fair enough.
We're all tied up going into the half. When we come back, we'll see who makes more progress.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. and by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
My name is Katie Cullen.
My name is Alex.
大家好，我叫巴乔，我的朋友们经常叫我 Bella。
Being a super fan, the Overwatch League is having that extra level of engagement.
Part of the Valiant identity is we are 7. We have become their 7th player on the team.
而且，那些队伍也给予了我很多的鼓励，非常庆幸能够成为 Overwatch League 的粉丝。
The mighty NYXL are unbeaten here in Stage 3, but the Dragons are looking to change that. They have things all tied up at 1-1 coming into the break. What's up, everybody? Malik, Zoe, Bryn, Sideshow, back at it once again. Guys, we talked a lot about the DPS duo of the Shanghai Dragons popping off in this matchup, and so far they look like they've been, they're definitely coming into this game more prepared.
Yeah, I definitely say so. I think map 1 as well, they definitely caught New York Excelsior off guard with their triple DPS. They had Youngjin on the Doomfist.
Surprise! That was a surprise right there.
Yeah, it's a new look coming out from them, really, and they absolutely excelled in this environment. And you all laughed at me predicting Shanghai in this matchup. You all laughed.
Did we?
Literally, no one laughed.
They're making it a close series.
If this was last year, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it is our first seed versus the 8th seed here in Stage 3, but it's a winnable one for either team. New York haven't really been tested, and the Shanghai Dragons are coming out looking great here. What I love about this is DM, because we haven't really seen this guy on Sombra at all.
Yeah.
He's only played 6 minutes and 48 on Sombra before this match, and he comes in, plays the Sombra. That's normally Ding's role, but it frees Ding up to play the Pharah, and it's such a better triple DPS lineup. That was something I was criticizing in Atlanta. They've come in, they've put the prep necessary, they're looking great.
All right, so another surprise into this matchup is after Oasis, after we saw all the popping off and whatnot, going into Hollywood, Stable wasn't in the game at all, and they went with Meko again. Were you guys surprised to see that omission of Stable?
I mean, yes and no. We have, in this stage at least, only really seen Meko on those control maps. However, looking at Hollywood, the map as a whole, it's not really usually mega DPS heavy, so it was right for them to actually go with Meko there as well. What is odd about it, though, is something that Monty pointed out during the cast. If you are playing with Sebyobi with that Sombra throughout the entirety of the stage, why change it now when you clearly look strong and good with that Sombra in the lineup?
I think it comes down to a stylistic change almost as well for these teams, these individuals. One of the positives I want to point out from the Shanghai Dragons that we haven't seen for quite some time is their creative use of Dragon Strikes. Now, I mean, if you're watching the highlights there, you might have seen it, but often they use it not even to just get kills. Splitting off the enemy team is the most common usage, but also buying space for Coma to get off of these ridiculous resurrects.
Right.
Pretty much almost all the time, actually. They never combo with the Halt, it seems like, which is what teams were doing last year all the time. It's a weird evolution, but it seems to be working for them.
Indeed, indeed. Now, we talked just now a little bit about how NYXL hasn't really been challenged much this year. The strength of the schedule going into stage 4, it looks like NYXL has another walk through the park. Pretty much the only team they really got to face off against is Vancouver.
Yeah, the stage 3 schedules for these two teams, it couldn't be more different, honestly. I mean, Shanghai haven't had the most difficult one in the world, but NYXL weren't tested at all. Yeah. And I think now that they're coming up against Shanghai, they're getting into their own heads as well.
Right.
We've seen when they came to Hollywood, the reason that they ran Meko, I think, is because they're trying to shut down the DPS from Shanghai. They're very much, now that they're up against a more difficult opponent, we're seeing how good New York really are. And I think the answer is very beatable despite going undefeated in stage 3. They look like our weakest undefeated team ever.
Is it time to pull up the choking hazard sign?
It could be. I mean,
come on.
Maybe.
The old LW Blue treatment you guys are giving them. All right, well, Sideshow, you have a little bit of insight for us right now prepared, correct?
I do, yes. This is about why Meko was run on Hollywood as well. For those of you that were perhaps pondering why this might be the case, I've got an Insights powered by Intel to run you through the idea of why you would want to run Meko in this scenario. So you can see that Hollywood B is the most important part for the NYXL. They're going to try and control this high ground here, but they also have this high ground to work with, and of course the jail over here as well. And for the Shanghai Dragons, what they're going to be doing is attempting to maneuver in either via this angle, which puts them in between all of the major high grounds, or they come in via here. Now, there are many, many really difficult choke points to get through. If NYXL are holding forward, this can be a tough choke point. If NYXL decide to drop on you here, this can be tough. And of course, where the payload is, this is an insanely tough choke point. So the entire concept of this is that they can abuse the high ground by having Meko on D.Va. And as the more DPS-heavy Shanghai Dragons approach the payload, they can engage onto them and make use of the high ground. Now, I'm going to speed up the fight itself because the actual meat and potatoes of the fight don't really matter that much. But the high ground is the important part.
The roast dinner, if you will.
The roast dinner, exactly. So once they actually find a target, and in this case, it's going to be the Orisa, it's going to be Gamsu. You can see that once all of this is played out, there's no way that Shanghai can find a single target to abuse because that high ground is such a useful asset. But on the other side, NYXL can find targets to isolate. They isolate Gamsu, and they bully him, they push out the backline, and they're able to collapse on him and get the pick. By having that Zarya on the high ground, there's no way for the DPS to be able to find that pick. By having the D.Va and the Winston be so mobile and flick from high ground to high ground, there's no way that Shanghai can do anything. And this seems to be the game plan of NYXL. But this flies in the face of everything they've been good at so far in stage 3. So when you look forward to the second half, I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to play their own game or try and counter Shanghai's? It's such a wild variance in what they could do in the second half.
Right. Some really crafty positioning there by the NYXL. Now, guys, going into this next half, we're all tied up 1-1. You want to change your picks or anything of that nature before we go in? Anybody want to flip-flop, Bryn?
Flip-flop. I haven't flip-flopped in 2019. I'm not going to start now when the team is actually 1-1.5.
You haven't flip-flopped?
I haven't flip-flopped. Go back, check the VODs. Check the VODs.
I don't believe it, but it could be true.
It could be true.
It could be true. I'm still feeling good about NYXL, honestly. I think they still need to taper some stuff, but there's like Havana's still in the map pool. They could go over to... honestly, I think they can win any of the assault maps that are coming up as well.
What about you, Zoe?
Yeah, New York has actually pretty good numbers on each of those maps. None of them really stands out on which they're like terribly bad or something. So yeah, I still think it's theirs to win.
All right, well, guys, we're all tied up 1-1 in this matchup. Let's see who can make it out to the other end of this half right after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Helden sterben nicht. Огонь по готовности. Being with it.
Justice reigns from above. Justice reigns from above. They're taking this deck. Come on over. Mountain power.
готовности. Helden sterben nicht. Team up for special attack.
Two hometown favorites going toe-to-toe one more time.
The Vancouver Titans, Stage 1 champions.
The Shock have done it, Stage 2 champions.
Make some noise for the current holders of the California Cup.
Welcome back from halftime, guys. We're all tied up. That's right, Shanghai Dragons versus New York Excelsior. You know what?
What?
The sun rises in the east, and the Shanghai Dragons cannot win Hollywood. Don't forget, guys, it's going to be awesome. Homestand weekend coming at you, Stage 4. That is going to be sick, man. So many good matches, and we don't have to go that far. We can just drive there.
Yeah, it is. The matches
You can
that
drive
weekend
or
are
fly.
crazy. And I'm going to call you out, San Francisco Shock and LA Valiant. If you're going to call it the California Cup, I better see a cup on stage that somebody's winning at the end of that match.
Yeah, yeah.
You have an entire stage to figure it out. So
You need a trophy.
I better see a cup.
Just a regular cup? Like, we have lots of paper cups.
I mean, maybe because they're not actually winning anything of value.
If
in that
they don't
match.
bring it, we're going to take like a paper cup,
Yes.
like California, and we're going to go
I'm
on
going to write
give them the winner.
California on the cup that I'm
There's-
going to have.
there's the
I'm
threat.
being told they have the cup. Okay, good.
We'll
Get
hold
the
you
cup
to
ready.
that, by the way.
Get the cup ready.
That's right. Well, on that note, let's take a look at our map set. Hollywood obviously went the way of New York, and it's going to be Volskaya Industries, chosen by the Shanghai Dragons to try to retake the lead in this series.
Yeah, they're undefeated on Volskaya here in Stage 3, 3-0. I'm a bit surprised they didn't pick Paris because that's a map that NYXL hasn't won this stage, but I think they're going to be very confident in their own abilities. This says that Shanghai's going to play their own game. We saw this map when they beat Philadelphia on it last weekend. They did roll with a lot of multi-DPS comps, as you can imagine. NYXL, they'll be ready for this.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're going to have Nene on the Sombra again. And coming into this, we talked about this before the match started, Doa, but NYXL had the best Sombra win rate in the league. They were winning 64.2% of their team fights while
who was
using
playing
Sombra.
that Sombra, though?
Sebilby was playing that Sombra.
Yeah, I think that's something to keep in mind.
So as we heard, Sideshow saying it at halftime, playing with Meko does give them the diva, but the question is that a worthy sacrifice?
Youngjin lurking on high, trying to find a pick if anyone dares to exit the big health pack room on the side, but Ding throwing rockets in there as well. New York's got to make an exit. Sometimes they're going to the high ground. They're going to give it a shot there, but that does leave their backline exposed, and they can't get the healing onto Mono that they need to. He and Jonak both fall. Add Libero to the list, and it's going to be a very fast point A for Shanghai.
Yeah, and New York just going to reset right now. It's pointless to keep going. Luckily for NYXL, they did get 70% of an EMP charge onto Nene, which is impressive.
Yeah.
And Shanghai don't have any ults of their own, so it's going to be an ultless fight, at least for the start of it. Nene's going to charge up a little bit more on the approach. This is looking holdable, though, on point B for the NYXL.
Sometimes I just punch so hard my fist like carries me through the air. You know, that happens. Kamsu comes in, tries to knock people off the point right now, takes a bit of damage, but he's okay. Ding looking for the kills on the far. Diem under a lot of pressure here. Trying to get out, but they've got Mono low again. He has to back away. Oh, Youngjin down Animo.
Okay.
How does he win that 1v1? Let's see that replay.
I don't think he expected Mono to get healed that fast because he had the infrasight, so he knew where Mono was, and he just walked around that corner and got absolutely bopped because he couldn't kill Mono fast enough because of the healing Mono had received. So questionable play there from Youngjin, but it will allow the NYXL to stabilize. They will take it. Nene doesn't have to use the EMP, so NYXL looking good for a long hold here on B.
Yeah, EMP only hits Youngjin. I don't know, he just back off of that. He hacks him again as well. Coma down, they did convert it into a kill. That is something that will send the Dragons back to spawn at least.
Yeah, looking a lot better on Nene now that he's warmed up a little bit. Onto the Sombra. NYXL does have some great stall ultimates, and the Trance and Rally coming online soon, in addition to the 2 tank ults. Shanghai has a lot of ults, but they're not super useful, is the problem. Like, basically Nano Boost and Barrage are the most useful ult combo that they have.
So it's a lot of those make a play ultimates, right? If you can make a play, they're big. That's a play.
Oh,
Dink gets a Nano Boost. Gets a lot of damage done. Jonak falls really fast. They got to get more kills quickly, though, or it's going to be hard to take this point. Barrage gets nobody. And it started okay. They're on the point right now, but it's going to be tough to defend against the respawns from New York. Mono zoning out the backline as best he can right now. That's going to force Diem to back away. Now he's trying to save his supports. Luffy in trouble here. Can't get the damage on it. Luffy goes down. Oh, Diem with a bit of revenge, but it's going to be a parting gift as they do have to back off a bit.
They're still going to go for it, though.
They got the res.
Wrecking Ball is alive. They get the resurrection on a Luffy, so they'll try and continue this as they push forward.
All right.
Minefield's going to come in soon.
Yeah, Minefield. Drop down there. Going to be the Transcendence from Jonak. He was about half health. Needed to use it to stay alive. He's going to go in and clear some mines too. And Youngjin down. Libero finds one at the whip shot. Goodbye, Gamsu. And it looks like the Dragons are going to have to retreat again. They've still got a bit over 4 minutes though to work with.
I think DM needs to switch off this Widowmaker right now. This is not going to be a strategy.
Yeah, it's not doing a whole lot for them at the moment.
Well, if they do change the Orisa and the Roadhog, that will give them the halt to pull people out and into the Widowmaker's line of sight. So that might be the ticket here.
True, there is
Nano Boost, and yeah, there we go. Okay, so we will switch to the Sombra. That is certainly a better play. The composition that they have allows you to get the flanks down, and one EMP can sort of change the tides and allow them to continue to cap point B.
And for a point like this, I think EMP is going to be a little bit more useful. It's going to be an EMP from Nene. Goodbye, Ding. Knocked right out of the sky with that one. Now another hack comes in on Mono from the Dragon side, but it's hard to turn it around. Yeah, Youngjin drops, and it's going to be a reset for Shanghai. Yeah, Gamsu down as well. They have to back away. Coleman just resets. 3 minutes. So the thing is it's not good enough to just finish on these assault maps anymore. You really need to finish with a big time bank these days. And Shanghai, even if they do finish, they're already in a little bit of trouble here because most teams are getting it done with plus 4 minutes right now.
Yeah, Luffy used the Nano Boost late onto Ding as well, so didn't get a lot of value considering members had already died on the side of the Shanghai Dragons. DM trying to get a little bit of that ult charge in. NYXL took a while though for them to come online, but now looks like they are firing on all cylinders, doing a great job of holding here on B.
That's what makes them so dangerous, man. They just do not get rattled easily.
It's also the adaptation. The in-game adaptation is exceptional from the NYXL, and it always has been.
Yeah. They've certainly got a lot more playoff experience. Goodbye, Jonak. Gamsu gets him. And so Shanghai with the 6v5 for the moment. Making some progress. Here comes the self-destruct. Oh, it gets Youngjin. How in the world did Youngjin get caught by that? Thought he was around the corner apparently, but that's a rough one. Shanghai still picking up kills though.
Resurrection was denied though, Doa, by Mono with the Primal Rage.
That's a big problem. He's gonna go after the Supercharger, punches that one down, and now Gamsu soon to follow. And once again, Shanghai will be denied the second point. And again, it's like we talked about, New York, they're always gonna have the poise under pressure.
Yeah, and now they're gonna have another EMP as well. So who needs poise when you can hack the planet?
Yeah, that's true. Or just roast Luffy with electricity.
This has been a really good defense on B from the NYXL. Didn't really even matter that they lost it so quickly because they did a good job of resetting, and Shanghai didn't have a lot of powerful ultimates to snowball in. They didn't have any ultimates to start at that fight, and because then they got the EMP charge, ended up working well in the NYXL's favor. DM though, can he get some big targets here with the EMP? They're gonna know. NYXL already well split up here.
All comes down to one big play. DM can get a good EMP. If Ding can get a good barrage, it could turn it around. Nene with the EMP again. Coleman did get hit with that one. DM fell immediately. And Nene's been doing a great job of using these EMPs specifically to eliminate the pharmacy combo.
Yep. And using them early too.
Yeah.
So making sure that the other Sombra's not going to get a chance to use the EMP instead. They're going to have less time on the clock.
Yep.
Because NYXL, they do have to be a bit nervous right now, considering that Ding has been so good with that Nano Boost on him, and they know the EMP is there. But this is going to be it. This is the last chance here for the Shanghai Dragons to cap on B.
Yeah. And it'd be crazy. You don't often see teams get held, I feel like, really at all on assault maps anymore. You always see it go to 3 or 4 per team. So a hold here for New York would be huge. That's the type of thing that turns the entire match around, right? Especially because Shanghai picked it. Here comes the EMP though. Team does get Libero, Nene, and Jonak down. That's 3 kills for Shanghai. So maybe at the very end, they found the fight to take the point if they can just handle the respawns. Mono gets slept, woke up again. He's got the Primal Rage, nice anti-heal, and he is going nowhere. That's gonna be point B. Maybe if Shanghai can just clean out these last respawns. They're so close and they've got it.
And they
just
finish with
before
time.
OT, yeah. Crucial that they had a little bit of time in the time bank left over.
Yeah, may just be a few seconds, but regardless of what happens, that will give them another attack round. So 7.6 seconds, but Shanghai gets it done.
And New York gets their turn to attack right after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Be right back. Apagando las luces. Heroes never die. Team Net. I am unstoppable. Justice reigns from above. Apagando las luces. Volvimos a wedding. Apagando las luces. More light. Apagando las luces. Heroes never die.
Shanghai Dragons having a rough time in their attack here. They did get 2 points in the end, but with just 7.6 seconds remaining in the time bank. Generally, you need a bit more on assault maps to get the win.
Yeah, and they got 4 points last week when they played against Philly, so it's a map that they felt confident on in attack. This week, however, not so much.
Yeah. Well, we will see if New York can handle it. But guys, guess what? Skins in the game is back. That's right. We're wearing your favorite team skins in game. You can earn points and help them win an Instagram takeover. Be sure to support your team and suit up between July 15th and 19th. The winning team will be announced July 22nd. You know, usually the only skin I wear is the skins of my enemies, but you know, I could rock the Jonak skin again once in a while.
You don't have any enemies, Noah.
You're right. You're right.
You're too nice.
You haven't been on Reddit in a while, have you?
Well, it's okay. It's okay. They're not really your enemies.
That's true. They're just friends I haven't convinced to like me. Let's get coffee sometime, guys.
That's an interesting way to say degenerate.
I feel like I'm remembering Jabba in Return of the Jedi, where he's like, "Soon you will begin to appreciate me." You know.
All right, so
he had captured Princess Leia at the time, but you know, it's a different situation.
Well, Nene gonna be poking around the back of Shanghai formation right now. Ding just gonna deliver some rockets to them, check them out.
Yep.
As they hit a nice separation. That was nice.
That's right. I've never been so excited to say the word separation. Animo separated from his team, and he's gonna have a hard time getting back in there. Ding knows it. They're trying to put the pressure on him right now. New York trying to rock in there. They've taken a lot of damage, and look at that anti-heal. Jonak in trouble. Can he hit the sleep dart? I think he already used it, and I think he already missed it. Meko got demeked during all of that. Sleep dart is on cooldown. Had to use a grenade to keep himself alive. Ooh, sleep dart, that one doesn't connect either. And now he's in a lot of trouble. Ducking and weaving. Ana, not the most mobile character in the game. Meanwhile, back on the point, New York still trying to pressure, and they've got the kill on Nakoma, who got caught to bring up Luffy, and that is gonna be a fast point day. Oh boy, Mono taking matters into his own paws.
And now you can see NYXL really doing some damage by having Nene on this Sombra. He looked really scattered at the start of this series, but started to calm down, started to even out right now. And you can see they're going to be heading into B. They're going to have that nano boost. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, New York's starting to look like that 7-0 juggernaut. Remember, they did not lose a match in this stage.
6 minutes as well.
Yep, lots of time. It's a nano boost. Anamano goes in for the kill into Luffy. Luffy in a lot of trouble. That's just so much damage. You can't get away from that. If you're on it, if you miss that sleep dart, it's over, man. Now DM in a lot of trouble too. Oh boy, New York might be about to set a pretty insane time.
What?
Luffy does get res. There's a sleep dart coming in from nowhere on Mono, but the hack happened onto Shanghai as well, so it doesn't get any easier from here. Can Luffy
shoot sleep darts around corners?
Yeah, man, he's got those tracking sleep darts now. New tech, man. Didn't you read the patch notes? Libero down. Mono as well. Youngjin picks up too, and now he's got the whole hog pushing everybody back. And New York, not even a tick taken when it looked like it was dire straits for the Dragons already.
Yeah, that resurrection really threw a wrench in the plans of the NYXL. They're not going to have a whole lot coming into this one. Nene rebuilding his way up to another EMP. So Shanghai holds on, but this is only the beginning here of what has to be a pretty epic Shanghai Dragons defense.
That's right. Ooh, Tracer from DM. Trying to put the pressure on the backline. Gonna be hard to cut through that sound barrier. Coma gets caught by the self-destruct though. And now DM really trying to get that kill onto Jonik, but he gets the armor back and Ding is down. Dragons in trouble yet again. Mono goes for the same play onto Luffy. Sleep dart, not connecting just yet, gets anti-healed. Primal Rage, goodbye Luffy. And there's no damage to take advantage of the anti-heal onto Mono right now. Just juggling the Dragons. Coma trying to escape here, gets chased down again. Oh, goodbye. It has brought Mono way away from the point, though, but it doesn't look like it's a problem. The rest of the team.
Definitely not a problem, though.
No trouble at all cleaning that one up, and it's looking like it's going to be a lot of time in the bank for NYXL. Can anyone even get there? Yeah, looks like DM can, but he gets EMP'd, Shield Bash, everything you can think of immediately. Sleep Dart onto Gamsu. So these respawns are getting there, but they're just not getting anything done. It's a small delay, and that is it. New York Excelsior, great time on their attack run.
And the big thing that's changed is it's Mono on these solo missions against the supports right now. Their supports on the Shanghai side, they need some peel. Mono is just going wild in the back line.
He's one of the best, no doubt. Time bank when we come back. Well, if you look at the time banks, they're looking a little bit lopsided. 5:01 from New York after getting that extra minute added onto their time bank. Just a single minute for the Shanghai Dragons as they only finished with a 7 seconds initially. So the Dragons are going to have a very, very tough time in this one. And New York on the verge. They put themselves in the position to take the lead in this series.
What do you do if you're Shanghai? Are you going to keep running the Doom Fist? The answer is, of course, yes.
Yeah, you go for the picks. If you get a big one, you can take the point quickly. They've got everything set up for that one. Youngjin runs into a wall, but that's okay. He meant to do that.
Taking over the point right now. Nene creeping in, going to throw the translocator down.
Yeah, Nene just trying to loop around the back lines of the Shanghai Dragon right now. It seems like Gamsu down, and oh man, with just 30 seconds remaining, if they lose anybody else, and they will, man, this is going to be so staggered too.
They did get Libero, so actually there might be a small chance here for the Dragons, but it was really the Biotic Grenade onto Gamsu's Wrecking Ball. Forced him out. He couldn't tank a lot of that damage in the front line any longer.
I mean, they had 15 seconds after the last respawn to get to the point, make a play. Libero swaps to the Tracer just so they can get that 6th man on the point as fast as possible. And here we go, Shanghai trying to get it done. Can they
Sleep
get
dart,
there?
Sleep dart on a Libero.
Oh man, Luffy gets a kill on the Libero here, and now Shanghai going in with the 6v5. They may have a chance here. Oh, but as soon as I say it, Coma taken up by Meko. They need at least one tick. They gotta get something done. And they haven't even gotten that quite yet. Ding, looking for damage. Luffy down. Ding does get the kill onto Jonak. Trying to hard carry. There's the D-Mech onto Meko. So Shanghai have got a shot here. They may be getting it. That's one tick taken, but here comes Mono with the Primal Rage. How long can he delay? Remember, that overtime bar will tick so fast, it will go away so quickly if they leave it. Shanghai, though, they're staying on the point. And they may be able to get point A here. Libero down, and whoa, at the last possible second, they are going to gain themselves 30 seconds with a big ult advantage to try to take B.
Big ult advantage showing this is where you can get a snowball, though. NYXL going to have plenty themselves. Libero's going to switch off now onto the Brigitte. Rally use on Youngkin. They're setting up the EMP.
EMP comes in, hits 3 members of New York. They got Mono, and there goes Nene as well. Barrage coming in from Ding and the Shanghai Dragons. They may have just done it, keeping themselves alive on this map right now. New York got the respawns, but Shanghai has the people on the point right now. We're into OT. This is going to be their last attack regardless of what happens. But if they can come away with it, with points, that's big. There's a nano boost on the Ding. And New York just cannot seem to hang Jonak on the wrecking ball right down onto the minefield. And that will be about it if they can just handle Meko self-destruct. They can.
Wow.
And Shanghai, out of nowhere, up to 4 points.
That was a minute on the clock, plus the 30 seconds they received from taking point A.
Wow.
Shanghai Dragons back against the wall. They had to do it.
Hey, if you're going to win in the playoffs, that's the kind of clutch play you need to do. Now, can they hold New York? Remember, New York is coming into their time bank round with a little over 5 minutes in the time bank. So it's not over yet. It's going to be tough for Shanghai, but hey, I mean, they've gotten themselves to the position where New York needs to cap B to stay in it.
And New York has the time, for sure.
Yeah.
It's all about the execution now. Shanghai Dragons going back to the same defense that they had before. A lot of other teams would make different decisions right now. They'd switch to 3-3 or 3-2-1 and try and just bleed that time off the clock. They wouldn't take the risk. With DM on the Widowmaker, they try to get EMP charge instead to hold on B. But they have all faith right now. Take a look at this right now. Nene. Yeah, that's it comes in. Did get the EMP off onto 5.
That's right.
But
5, but
had
there
to
was
sacrifice his life for it.
I mean, that's the thing. If there's no one to follow up on it, then you're just kind of hanging out, enjoying a break from social media. Sometimes EMPs aren't that bad. New York on the attack again. Yeah, DM goes over to the Widowmaker. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a bold play. They have a lot of confidence in their individual abilities right now, the Shanghai Dragons, and why wouldn't they? It's gotten them this far.
Yeah, true enough. At the end of the day, you got to rely on what got you there. And maybe New York with the swaps here. Libero over in the Brigitte, and there's Nene on the Zarya. New York knows they have tons of time, so they can really tailor this composition to kind of work with what's best, they think, against this comp.
Yeah, you can also, a little bit surprised they don't want to go with the Sombra here, but we'll have a little bit more protection with the Zarya bubbles.
Yep.
Especially as they try and take this point too. Zarya bubbles so useful in the open ground when you swap your tanks on and off. Provide that pressure onto the point. They are going to make their way into the bunker. Have to worry about those Widowmaker sight lines from the far side of the point. Here's Gomsu just disrupting on the way through.
Sends Mono over. Remember, he was not successful last time he pushed through here. Gomsu down though. Uh-oh. Mono gets back to the safety of his healers.
They get the res.
Res?
Nope,
no,
disrupted.
Yeah.
Not denied.
Oh, it's big. Nice sleep down on the Mono. Now, don't wake him up.
One.
Don't wake him up this time.
With the nano boost.
Nano boost on the Mono. Got slept again. There's a barrage coming in. Meko blocking a lot of that. And sending the rockets right back at Ding as well. Rocket for rocket. DM with a pick on the Mono, though. Shanghai, they're still in it. Meko doesn't have a lot of health left. And Jonak, oh, there's another one from DM. DM trying to put his team on his back and carry him again. They're going to chase down Nene.
Oh, the disruption.
Nearly
the
got pooped off.
That could have been a headshot right there, but Audible boops him off during the scope.
Nene dies anyway, and Coma way off there. Gets back to Gomsu. That is how you treat your support. You give your Mercy a place to go back to. Take note players of the internet.
Heads up play by Gotsu. There's been a wild fight, though, and NYXL still hasn't taken down the point.
Oh, they put the minefield over the point. Look at that spread. That completely covers the point. That's sick. Self-destruct comes in. New York has a sound barrier as well, so minefield not a big problem right now. Oh, Luffy gonna get chased away by Mono. Again, great sleep dart. I swear Mono spent just as much time asleep as he did awake this series already. And Shanghai, have they actually held this? Only giving up 1 tick so far to New York.
Yeah, there's 6 members of Shanghai on the point. The rally has been used, so NYXL trying to come back in right now. They must wait for Jonak, though.
That's why.
That's why they're rotating over in this direction. They want Gamsu. Gamsu gonna get healed up, though.
Half the time off the clock right now. Down to 220 for New York. Man, if Shanghai could pull this off, that would be insane.
It would be epic, though.
Certainly would be. Ooh, Nano Boost, he's going for it anyway. Nana can't do the damage in time. Animo, though, finishes it off. And now Diem on the Tracer, trying to do what he can, get stunned, though. That's why the Brigida was in the game in the first place. It's people like Tracer that caused her to be developed. At least that's my theory anyway. He's got the Pulse Bomb anyway. Diem looking for it, throws it in. Did he try? No, oh, he got Animo. Between a wall and a pulse bomb place, it's not where you want to be, and that's a nice grenade from Luffy, really killing the Libero. Mono cannot stay up in New York, having a really hard time. Whoa, Meko ejected off the face of the earth, basically.
All right, well, that was an extremely long multi-minute fight, Doa.
Yeah.
NYXL trying to scrabble onto the point, but they can't get it done, and now, only a minute 26 left, Ding to go give his friend Koma a place to fly to. Then he has the Graviton Surge. Can they catch somebody out with it? They only need to find 1 target, really. Solo Graviton perfectly fine against the Shanghai Dragons composition.
Man, Ding has been so good at avoiding the pressure from NYXL. Here we go, same approach as before. Diem really close to another Pulse Bomb. That could make the difference. Less than a minute remaining for New York. If they're gonna get it done, they gotta get it done now. Here comes a minefield, but it's more like the carpet bombing. It's Gamsu drops it on the point, but Luffy and Gamsu are down, and the Dragons short-handed as they try to defend A. Do you cut your losses here? I don't know, Diem's probably gonna swap heroes anyway, but it looks like A is gonna get taken by New York finally, and they are gonna get another 30 seconds. They're gonna have almost exactly 1 minute to try to finish off B.
But the cost was so high, Doa. They had to use the Graviton to isolate the Wrecking Ball. Now you have a Primal Rage and a Sound Bear. You're coming into a wall of ultimates from the Shanghai Dragon, including another Nano Boost that'll go on to Ding.
Mono, though, he's got the ultimate, and Luffy in big trouble. Oh, stunned again. The Ana bailed out, and Mono hit with the anti-heal. Now Ding comes in. Oh, but Jonak gets him. The MVP of last year comes in for the big plays. He gets 2. Jonak with 2 kills so far, but Shanghai is still winning this fight. Mono's Primal Rage may be the ticket. They need it to be amazing. It gets hacked, gets done, taken out, no ultimate used by Mono, and now just about 15 seconds left, and the Dragons go aggressive with the defense. They force the Transcendence out way earlier than they'd want to. Diem with the EMP, but Meko gets the kill. New York, they got a shot at this.
Yeah, they do. They got the Transcendence. Looks like we are going to get Mono back in time. He can use Primal Rage to get to the point if he has to. Minefield goes down from Gamsu again.
Yeah, that's right. They got to try to get through it. Animo down early. It's a 6v5. Ding really close to another barrage. Nene down Gamsu with a big pick there, and Mono with the Primal Rage, but his team falling around him. He does knock Luffy off the edge, though. Koma, oh, he can't get through. Gets punched out.
It's a 3 versus 3 on the point right now. Hack is through. Gamsu's there. Gonna try and disrupt just a little bit, but the respawns are gonna be coming soon.
Crazy, man. New York actually with a big chance here. They've got the Nano Boost on Mono. Maybe another Sleep Dart could come in at the last moment. Luffy lining up. Koma on the Moira now. Here comes Diem.
EMP.
The EMP could be the difference maker. Gets it off. And there's Ding with the barrage. EMP barrage will deliver the Dragons this map. They have done it, and they have retaken the lead against all odds. Think about that. 1 minute for Shanghai, over 5 minutes from New York, and Shanghai takes it.
That was a heart attack in a game, Doa. Shanghai hit that map, and they eventually delivered. 1 minute to 5 in the time bank, like you said. Dragons, however, get it done.
What a great series. Tell your friends to turn this on. If you don't, I guess you're not a very good friend to them. Don't go anywhere, guys. Map 4 when we come back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Shanghai Dragons have put themselves one map win away from advancing to the semifinals of the Stage 3 playoffs. Gamsu looking pretty pleased.
He looks pleased with himself right there, giving his teammates a little smirk. It's like, see my wrecking ball? It's pretty good.
It was sick. Yeah. DM. He's like, hey, did you see my pulse bomb? I mean, everybody had sick plays that match. I mean, you don't see a defense like that very often.
Ding casually doing 30% of his team's damage again.
Yeah.
On the Pharah. Been a theme for this match. Ding, 29, 30% of his team's damage on a map. Pretty darn good. This guy basically uncontested in the Pharah crown so far for this season.
Yeah, I don't think anyone even comes close. Comes close right now. He's so far away, it's even hard for me to even say it. Well, Shanghai retakes the lead in the series, and we are going to watch Point Gibraltar. This was, of course, New York's map selection for our escort map.
And I think probably one of the reasons, Doa, New York is undefeated on this map this stage, but in their meeting in Stage 2, and yes,
it's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago to start Stage 2. This is a map that NYXL beat Shanghai on.
Okay.
So this is a map I think New York particularly comfortable on.
Well, I mean, it's like we said before. Well, maybe, I was about to say New York, they're used to the pressure of being on stage, playoffs, all that kind of stuff. But, it turns out New York, maybe not so comfortable during playoffs sometimes. So.
This is a team that could easily be entirely undefeated in the Overwatch League right now, the NYXL in the regular season.
Yeah, if it weren't for Atlanta Rain.
If it weren't for that dastardly Atlanta Rain.
Atlanta Rain!
NYXL could be undefeated. And for a team that has been so dominant in the regular season, you have to say that we expect a lot more from their playoff results than they've been able to deliver historically.
Shanghai Dragons, hey, with the comp that's worked all day, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Youngjin trying to break the defensive lines of New York once again with that Doomfist.
A slow poke coming in from the likes of the Pharah. DM taking those long sight lines while Youngjin threatens to pick up close. So another pick composition here from Shanghai. This time will not be with the Orisa and the Hog, though.
The payload left behind, but hey, if you got a chance to come mono, and they do, why not? Youngjin with the final blow there, but it was a team effort. It really was. Damage from everywhere.
So we've seen a lot of adaptation so far in this series, Noah, as he's going to punch himself to safety. Obviously gets resurrected. But one of the main things that's happened in the last two maps has been that Youngjin is defending Luffy. Remember we said they needed to peel just a little bit better, right?
Yeah. Well, they down.
Yeah, they are going to keep pushing forward right here to be able to finish off these eliminations eventually, the Shanghai Dragons.
I mean, yeah.
Close stagger.
Now down to about half health again. Oh, Rocket Punch misses, rather. It's okay, though. The payload nearing the end of A, they should be able to take it pretty smoothly. Maybe Mono. Oh, he got stunned right as he came in. Libero right, or rather, yeah, they just had a stun. What do you know? There it is.
Just trickle
There
in
we go.
right now, but it's not looking good. Young Chen.
Come on and slam.
Style points, but can he get some split spots here? Animo is in trouble.
I mean, how's Animo going to get out of that? Well, I guess if he missed a rocket punch, oh, the uppercut will find him. Fatality.
Ooh. It's so close. Anyway, as I was saying, one of the differences is that Shanghai Dragons have changed their positioning. So Youngjin was going deep in some of these other matches. In the last couple of maps, when he was playing Brigida, now that he's playing Doomfist, he's been staying in the back line and waiting for Mono to come to him.
Yeah.
So Mono is no longer getting
Mono.
the support of limbs because Shanghai has changed to better protect that back line, particularly Luffy.
Yeah.
So this has been a major adaptation from Shanghai. It's helped them take out Volskaya, and now they are getting a very fast time so far on Gibraltar. Infrasight is up.
Nearing the end of B already. And there's a barrage used. Wow, very aggressively by Ding. Surprising that he would use that right there. He's probably going to get res.
Oh, he didn't. He got knocked out of it, looked like.
Maybe not. Yeah, Koma went for the ultimate. They've been able to protect him through a lot of reses, and that may have been Shanghai pulling the trigger a little bit too early there.
I think they thought they could get that res, but they just couldn't. Jonak was so ready for that barrage at the choke, though, just getting the volley straight onto the target. You don't expect that.
Very true.
So a couple ults now. Have the grab bomb combo. Youngjin still hanging back here, covering Luffy, making sure Mono's not going to be able to do much.
Mono
got to get out of there.
Yeah, they've been so good at putting the damage on him when he comes in, like we've been talking about.
Graviton, the target is the Wrecking Ball here with the Graviton.
Meko bounced up, gonna go after Ding now. Ding fleeing back to his mercy right now. Youngjin caught up in the Graviton.
He lives!
Gets out with a nano boost. Luffy saving his Doomfist's life, and now it's gonna be the Transcendence from Jonak. I don't know about that, man. Oh, Rocket Punch onto Libero. Meteor Strike used. He's gonna come down back and it seems why stay safe. No, onto Meko. A little bit of damage done there. Gets out again. Now Ding with another barrage.
I mean, this is scary. NYXL, those were some not very efficient ults right there. Big ults that you need. The sound barrier. And now Meko gonna try and use that self-destruct to buy some space, looks like.
Mono down again. And Ding free to fire into the enemy team right now. They've only got Nene's shields to keep them up right now. It's not gonna be enough to save Animo. Nene down as well. Meko about to get demeked. That is point B. And Shanghai still with a ton of time to finish this.
They're gonna get it with 2:20. Another minute and a half goes onto the time bank.
And they're killing it right now.
Oh, the split spawns have been really bad as well. Trying to look for Animo right there. They do manage to find him with a biotic grenade.
Downtown, man. Luffy gets him the bio-nade. I mean, Luffy's bio grenades have been incredible this match too, by the way. Great anti-heals, great finisher too. You don't see Anas use that for a finisher too often. A lot of times when you do, it's not intentional, but I feel like Luffy knows what he's doing sometimes.
Threw it at his own feet right there to get Animo and him at the same time.
Hey, you gotta do that sometimes, you know. Ding, nano boost. All right, Transcendence. That from Jonak. There's a barrage coming in. Meteor Strike on top of it. The damage, too much for New York to handle. They need to run. Animo and Jonak down to about half health, and there's a rocket to find them yet again. Jonak from behind. Ding. It's like the Kung Fu master of Farah, man. You never know which angle this guy's gonna come from.
And he's got 35% of his team's damage on Gibraltar right now.
Denied, he knocked Mono back. No! All right, Ding, player of the match. If they win, player of the match.
Ridiculous.
I'll fight anybody
Ding.
who says otherwise.
Here we go. Batiste switch now for Libero. Immortality field down. This is desperation. DM just firing into that door, looking for the headshots.
Self-destruct. Not enough to keep Shanghai at bay for too long. And now the barrage trying to handle the respawns. He turned away from the door for just a moment, and Animo found the time to pick him off. New York. Well, they lost somebody though. Oh, Libero. All right, Immortality field. The Batiste coming in at just the right time to keep New York in this one. 2 minutes left for Shanghai.
Resurrection denied again.
Less than a meter to go. Shanghai was so close.
They still have lots of time though, Doa. They have a minefield just to put on that payload as well. And they're not quite there with the EMP yet.
New York. Now we've seen both teams pull out clutch moments in this series. Oh, health pack just in time for DM, man.
Gamsu had a crazy wrecking ball move onto the payload to dump the minefield.
There was no shield between the head and the Widowmaker. Now Ding with the nano boost again. He gets a kill on the Nene. No more Sombra. And AZMP not doing as much as he had hoped. And there's the immortality field down. So Shanghai free and clear to do the damage right now. It's going to be another barrage from Ding. And he needs it just for the cleanup. That is it. And Shanghai will finish with 1:16 in the time bank. Hey, they have put themselves in a great position to advance to the semis with an attack round like that.
I mean, this is crazy for the Dragons. They're the 8th seed against the number 1 on the verge of this upset. And of course, that would mean that they would play the highest remaining seed, which we know already is the Vancouver Titans. So that would be our semifinal matchup.
Oh, that'll be great if it comes to that.
And this is just a, we came in today saying that it definitely feels like a 50-50 match. Like, it feels like the Shanghai Dragons are perfectly capable of taking this series with the way they've been coming in, their own strategies. And we're gonna take a look at this setup here. Watch Gamsu, because he's thinking they have an EMP. So he's gonna show you a very cool angle straight onto the payload.
Sick.
So that makes sure the minefield gets down before he gets hacked, and that makes the space on the payload for them to fight and finish the map. So that's a really, I didn't even know you could do that as Wrecking Ball right there. That's pretty fun.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and this might seem like heresy to some, but I think Among's got a challenger for the crown right now. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna put that one out there.
He's pretty good.
You know, Brent might fight me later, but
I mean,
I think I can back it up.
I can't think of anything I'd be less afraid of. So.
Well, I wouldn't want a Widowmaker 1v1 him, put it that way.
That's true, but real life's a different story.
Yeah, I took Taekwondo in grade school. I'm good.
Shanghai Dragons, though, 33-6 on elims.
Wow.
NYXL got 6 eliminations on that defense.
That is one-sided.
It's impressive that they actually managed to drain as much time off the clock as they did with only 6 elims.
Yeah.
Okay, so Classic, just gonna check and see if there's a player right there to hook. Will not actually be playing that composition. They're going back to what they decided to play today, which is Nene on that Sombra.
Oh no, on the Zarya. They swap it.
Swapping it?
At the last moment, yeah. Will they swap Jonak over to the Ana though? Looks like they're gonna keep him on the Zenyatta for now here.
So interesting, look at this, Doa. They put Ding back on the Sombra, which we haven't seen a lot of today. And the reason is they want Youngjin there because they're focusing mono.
Hacking the anti-heal on both Mono and Nene.
They're focusing mono, Doa. That's what they're doing. That's why they made this adjustment.
Meanwhile, DM focusing everybody else.
Yeah, because they know that mono, when NYXL's been successful in this series, it's mono getting on top of Luffy. They say, no, that's not gonna happen. They did this in the second defense on Volskaya as well.
Look at DM. He's having the time of his life right now, man. That is not a face you often see in a tense playoff match.
So look at this, NYXL also adjusting right now. Mono onto the Reinhardt. They know the dive's not going to work.
Oh, EMP though, onto a bunch of members and a huge bio grenade. 4 people hit by Luffy's bio grenade. The D-Mech onto Meko, the kill onto Animo. And they are putting that EMP to good use. New York sent scrambling again, and now they are trapped in that side room. And DM covering the spawn doors.
Just daring Animo to come out.
Yep, gotta spam the AD.
Problem is, it's in these close quarters combats that's very difficult.
Down again. Gamsu taken out as well, though. New York with a chance to push forward here, maybe.
Youngjin back on the Doomfist now. So this is all calculated. They want the Doomfist into the Reinhardt to disrupt the front line if they can.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of comp swapping right now. This is the end result of everything that's happened in this series, is these two teams at this critical moment attempting to outsmart each other.
Right. Gamsu takes some hits from Jonak. Jonak feeling the pressure, gets the armor pack as they back away again. Nene closer and closer to that grab, but it's already been a long time to push through point A here. Dragons with a decent defense to start things off with. Youngjin, believe he got the nano boost there. Yeah, he did. He was getting a little bit low. Looks for a rocket punch. Gonna chase New York away. They've got Nene in the corner. That's an easy kill for any Doomfist out there. The stun, but it just gives Youngjin a time to pause and reflect on how good he is.
He's been pretty good. Jonak trying to deal with DM by sending some spam his way. They get harder to fire, but New York just getting slaughtered in this corner, and this is worst case on Gibraltar.
It really
getting
is.
stalled out at the end of A is so hard to come back from.
Yeah, especially when you consider that even if they take A and B now, they're still gonna have so little time to finish off C, and Mono back to the Winston again.
This is because they see the Doomfist, right?
Yeah.
It's harder to peel. You could still peel the Winston with the Doomfist, but it's harder than with the Brigitte. So all the mind games coming in right now.
Yeah, but only 60 seconds remaining. New York, it's do or die right now in the playoffs, and the EMP hits 4. Then he uses the grab. Shanghai trapped in it, and it looks like New York has enough. Yeah, the escape from Youngjin, he's gonna get away with that after his team gets taken down. They might have to give up A. We'll see how much time they can take off of the clock right now.
The EMP goes through, but not before the grab is laid down, Noah. That's what makes the big difference. Nene has been good at avoiding the EMP with his grabs tonight.
Dude, Youngjin just saved Gamsu, kept him alive a little bit longer. They go down finally, but still, only 3 minutes now for New York at the beginning of B.
Yeah, lots of time taking off that clock. Shanghai, are they going to make another chase?
Nearly all of it.
Is Youngjin going to go back to the Brigida? Questions we have right now.
I mean, you certainly could, although there is a lot of verticality to use as that defense.
Definitely
so
harder.
Stay on it.
Definitely harder in B, I would say, to play the Brigida. But especially if you're just trying to defend on the back line and you're not going to be really fighting on the payload, because that's not the way they've been using that hero so far.
This makes sense. Oh, what a shot! DM under pressure and still finds it. Animo drops, and here we go. Primal Rage from Mono. He is out for blood. And DM, it's like, yeah, I know, it must be frustrating, huh? Must be frustrating. Stunned into oblivion. There's a nano boost going to no use on Mono. Jonak down, Gamsu finds him with a mine, and they are on the payload right now. New York getting wrecked again. This is insane. The Shanghai Dragons looking so good right now.
It's very hard to stop what they're doing to you. A level of crowd control that they're playing with the Doomfist, with the Sleep Dart from Luffy, with the hacks from Ding. NYXL resetting once again. It's going to be a while before they can probably have an effective push. Nene switches over to the Sombra right now. Oh boy. I mean, the problem right now is Nene on this map has been averaging 2 minutes and 15 seconds to charge an EMP. There's only 90 seconds on the clock.
Now, I'm not very good at math, Monty, but that feels like not enough time to build an EMP.
I think it might not be.
Oh, you just strike. Comes down. There's this blocking the door. Hey, just use up the time, right? Ooh, a little bit of a sneaky move from Nene, pushing that payload a little bit farther.
Yeah, just trying to disrupt the choke point defense right there. He's successful, does force him. Oh,
Mono! Oh my gosh, the damage. How in the world?
Nene's sneaking
so
the card again.
Lucky. Yeah, that's what you gotta do. Ding. There. Translocator EMP on 4 people. Oh, and that's a nice anti-heal. They've been pairing the EMP with the bio grenades so beautifully all day.
Oh, the bubble.
That's right, just in time. DM.
Yep.
19
HP.
HP. All right, to get out. Youngjin gets brought back to life as well. And now it is just about 35 seconds left for NYXL to take B. And Nene nowhere near that EMP right now.
I mean, you don't really want to nano boost him either. You'd much rather nano boost Mono if you have the opportunity. So you do nano boost Mono, chain it into Primal Rage, and then sow enough chaos that Nene has a chance to get the EMP up. This is it. New York, they're stage 3 on the line right now.
Yep,
Are they going to fall out of quarters just like they did in stage 1?
I mean, playoffs have been kryptonite for NYXL so far this season. Jonak hiding behind the pillar. DMO, he waited for it. He knew he had the chance, and Jonak knocked out with the nano boost available. Can they get to the payload? They do. Sound barrier used by Animo, but there goes Nene. No EMP for them this fight, and New York cannot even get back to the payload. They barely keep the overtime bar alive, but it seems like it's all Shanghai right now. Youngjin on the Brigida to seal the deal to finish it. The Sleep Dart, the Shield Bash, another EMP from DM. Mono can do nothing right now but flail ineffectively. He finally gets the nano boost, but he is the last man standing between Shanghai and a semifinal spot, and he will drop. And that is it. The Shanghai Dragons are going to the semis.
Congrats to the Shanghai Dragons. Statement victory.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Overwatch at its absolute best. 2 great teams swapping things up, the mind games. An exciting finish. Shanghai Dragons will take it 3-1. A lot of people saying these guys had a big shot at, man, playing their own style and taking it to New York today.
I mean, we knew that this was going to be a close series. We knew this was going to be a close stage playoffs.
Right.
With how much all of these teams are sort of doing their own thing, it's very difficult to predict the end results. Shanghai Dragons, they come back in, and they're able to, at the last second by switching Ding back onto Sombra. This has been a massive mind game from these two teams, but what Youngjin did to help fuel for that backline the last two maps, that was an excellent strategic move from the Dragons.
And you got to feel for New York a little bit there. I mean, New York, again, another stage playoffs, another quarterfinals exit. Let's send it down to Danny, meanwhile, who's standing by with Ding on stage.
Mountain Duo, thank you very much. I am standing right next to Ding from Shanghai Dragons. Everybody make some noise for Shanghai Dragons. They have done it. They have defeated the NYXL. Ding, this is amazing. This is your first time defeating NYXL, and this is your first ever semifinals in the playoffs. How did you guys prep for this match? 일단 오늘 승리 너무나도 축하드리고요. 좀 굉장히 많은 의미가 있는 승리인 것 같아요. 뭐 뉴욕도 처음이고 또 처음 준결승전 진출까지. 오늘 경기를 위해서 좀 어떻게 준비를 하셨나요?
원래 그러니까 원래 준비했던 것보다 좀 더 한 2배는 더 노력해가지고 준비를 더 한 것 같아요.
원래 했던 준비보다 조금 더 노력을 했다.
2배로 더 노력을 했어요.
So coming into today's match, I feel like our team just really prepped a lot. Like if it was 100% for any other matches, coming into today, we gave our 200%, and I believe that's how we won NYXL. And also, talking about beating NYXL, this win today has a lot of meaning. Like I just said, first time beating NYXL, first time going into semifinals, and also Shanghai Dragons. Last year, you guys had 0-40 record. So, Ding, do you have anything that you want to say going into semifinals? 자, 방금 또 제가 또 준결승전 말씀을 살짝 했지만은 좀 오늘 경기가 굉장히 또 의미가 많아요. 작년 상하이 팀이 좀 원래 한 번도 승리를 해본 적이 없던 팀에서 오늘 또 다들 예상치 못한 결과를 또 뉴욕을 이기고 또 거기다가 또 준결승전까지 들어가시게 되셨는데 하고 싶은 말 있으시면은 카메라 보시고 하고 싶은 말 다 하세요.
뉴욕을 이긴 거를 비밀로 삼아서 우승까지 하겠습니다.
After beating NYXL, we're going to use this momentum to win Stage 3 playoffs. Everybody give it up for Ding one more time. Thank you so much. Mountain Duo, back to you guys.
Thank you, Danny. And man, if you look at this team, I think you can say pretty amazing things about everybody today. They all played so well, but you got to give the MVP to somebody, and it's going to go to Ding. It's going to go to Ding for reasons like this.
I mean, he definitely deserves the Omen by HB player of the match today.
That's right.
And then he deserves a Wilhelm scream at the end there.
Everybody deserves a Wilhelm scream once in a while, you know, yeah.
But Ding, even that last map, was doing about 29% again of his team's damage. Just such incredible accuracy with the rockets. Also, coming back onto the Sombra and delivering just an astounding with 54,000 damage as far over the course of that series.
That's incredible. I mean, unquestionably, this guy is the Pharah king in the league right now.
Yeah, he is something else, and that's going to be a huge upset, at least on paper. You look at number 8 versus number 1, but when we came in today, we said Shanghai has a very legit chance of winning this match, and that is exactly what they deliver to their fans.
Yeah, knowing the strength of these teams right now, this shouldn't really be that big of a surprise, but still neat to see. So the Dragons, as the lowest seed in the playoffs, will go on to face the Titans on Saturday. That should be a great match as well. So one of our semifinals already decided.
Yeah, and that's because the Titans are the highest remaining seed since Excelsior has been knocked out. Dragons are guaranteed to be the lowest seed at 8. We reseed 2 versus 8. We know the matchup.
And tomorrow, Seoul Dynasty taking on San Francisco Shock. Seoul making it to the semis earlier in this season. We'll see if they can do it again in Stage 3. And then LA Valiant will take on Hangzhou Spark. That is going to be an amazing series. Both of these teams on the rise big time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our playoff matches are all excellent this time around.
Really are.
It's only going to get more exciting as we head into those semifinals. It really feels like this Stage 3 title is up for grabs from all of our remaining squads.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could see a very different result. At least we're going to see a very different type of game for sure. It's been an exciting playoffs already, and it's only getting started, guys. That's going to do it for us today for the games, but stick around. Watch Point is coming up next.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.